Welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrew. I'm an admissions counselor at University of Alaska Fairbanks, and I'm so excited to be talking to students in Hawaii. That is so cool. From the coldest place in the United States to, we'll say, the most beautiful place in the United States. I'm actually a UAF alum. I lived in Fairbanks for 3 years, and so I can answer any question you have about living on campus, moving to Alaska, anything like that. Drop me a question in the Q&A. I'd love to talk with you. So at UAF, we acknowledge the Alaska Native Nations upon whose traditional lands our 6 campuses reside. So here in Fairbanks, our Chautheta campus is located on the traditional lands of the lower Tanana people, and our appreciation of and engagement with Alaska Native culture is just one of the many things that makes UAF's campus so unique. And I am coming to you from Southern California today. I'm located down here in the lower 48 to better engage with students like you. So UAF is a small public research university. We are based towards the middle of the state, known as Alaska's interior. So by being up there towards the middle of the state, you're going to be experiencing a particularly unique living environment, complete with, as you'd imagine, snowy winters, varying amounts of sunlight, and an opportunity to engage with Alaskan wildlife, as well as see the aurora borealis. I've done both these things, both from campus. I've seen moose on campus and just outside my cabin, and then just stepping outside of your residence hall. You can look up to the sky at night in the winter and see the aurora. I highly recommend it. It's very beautiful and life-changing. It's also important to mention that we experience some low temperatures as low as -50, but as high as the 80s and even the 90s during the summer. So we're kind of across the board temperature-wise. So at UAF, you're really going to get all the best parts of college, but just in the farthest north U.S. city. So similarly to Hawaii, we have all the traditional parts of a college experience, everything you would expect, but because we're a little bit further away from the contiguous U.S., we have some different lifestyles and different kind of traditions. And so as you can see here, our students on campus, a tradition is to get your photo taken in front of our temperature sign when the temperature breaks -40. I have taken the same photo. I kept all of my clothes on, but it is a student tradition to strip down to your swimsuit. I'm chicken, but that is okay. So like I said, you're going to be getting all the best traditional parts of college. You're going to be living in a residence hall, going to dining halls. You'll have a student rec center, libraries, student clubs and organizations, and movie nights, trivia nights, open mic nights, everything that you can imagine and would want. But it's a little bit different just because we are 200 miles south of the Arctic Circle. UIF's campus is also a 2-hour drive north of Denali National Park, a great spot for hiking, seeing your first bear, going on a group trip, kayaking, a bunch of different things like that. So just some highlights of our university and what we have to offer you. So UAF is really going to offer you the best of both worlds. Because we have a relatively small student enrollment of just over 5,400 students on campus, as well as a 10-to-1 student to professor ratio, you're going to get smaller classes and a tightly knit community, and you're really going to get to know your professors, your classmates, and your campus community. But because we are a research university, because we're a land, sea, and space grant university, and because we're a world leader in climate change and Arctic research, you're going to have so many opportunities for funding, and you're going to have so many resources and opportunities at your disposal because we are so connected to the research community, not just in the United States and in Alaska, but in the world too. We also offer WUIs to all students from qualifying states. So if you're coming from Hawaii, you automatically get WUI. And we also offer in-state tuition to military and veteran dependents, as well as a bunch of other merit and need-based scholarships. So as I've hinted at before, when you come to UAF, you're going to find your major, but you'll also find so much more. You're going to be gathering stories and experiences that are going to make you the most interesting person in the room. Take it from somebody who moved from from Ohio to Alaska. Ohio is a little less glamorous than Hawaii, maybe, but when I was living in Fairbanks and going to UAF, now that I've graduated, people have so many questions and are so intrigued by this move up to this kind of dark and strange and exciting and adventurous outdoors place. And so you're really going to stand out in that job interview after you graduate from UAF. So up at UAF, because we are a research university, our STEM majors are going to be some of our most popular. For example, if you're an aerospace engineering minor, you're actually going to get to partake in rocket launches on our very own rocket launch site, Poker Flats Research Range. We are the only university in the world to have our own private rocket launch site. And if, for example, you're a wildlife biology and conservation major, you're going to get to work directly with muskoxen and reindeer at our large animal research station on campus. Those are just a couple of examples of the facilities and research opportunities you're going to have to work with at UAF. So just to get to tuition really quick before we finish up here, with MUI, your tuition and fees are going to be looking right around $13,000. And if you are a dependent of an active duty military member or a veteran, you're gonna qualify for that in-state tuition a little under $10,000. Also, if you choose to complete your degree online, you're going to be qualifying for that in-state tuition as well. So MUI for all, this $23,770 is going to be your number for tuition, fees, housing, and a meal plan. And remember, that's before financial aid and other scholarships. So applications are open for fall 2021. Please apply to us. And again, my name is Andrew. Thank you so much. I'm a proud UAF alum. I'm an out-of-state student. I'm a former college composition instructor, and I can't wait to meet you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Southern Oregon University, and don't forget to send in your Q&A questions.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for waiting while I get this ready. All right, 6 minutes about Southern Oregon University. Here we go. My name is Ian Parent, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Southern Oregon University. I've been going to Hawaii recruiting students for about 14 years now, and I've really missed this last 8 months or so of not being able to visit and get my Hawaii fix. I actually took this video a little bit earlier this summer. I thought it'd be more exciting than looking at pictures while I explain these numbers, but as you can see, we have just under 6,000 students total, with a very, very friendly faculty, student-to-faculty ratio with an average class size of about 21. And what you don't see in those numbers is that every class is taught by faculty. We do not have graduate students or teachers' assistants teaching classes, so students develop a really close relationship with faculty. Average GPA of our admitted first-year students is a 3.3. We do have 38 majors, and I'll talk a little bit more about those in a minute. We have 4 residence halls on campus. 2 of them are really new and recently built, pretty fancy with high-speed internet. Every res hall has high-speed internet, wireless internet, cable television, laundry included. 13 men's and women's varsity sports. We do offer scholarships and a lot of clubs and organizations for students to get involved with on campus. If you have not been to Southern Oregon University, we're located in Ashland, Oregon. As you can see, it's in the southwest part of the state. It is a suburb in the Rogue Valley region, and the Rogue Valley is the 4th largest metro area in the state of Oregon with over 215,000 people. So within 20-30 minutes of campus, we have shopping malls, Targets, Walmarts, all your big city amenities, including the Medford International Airport. And you can see all the lines going into Medford there. Those are all the direct flights into Medford. So from Hawaii, you can fly on Alaska, United, Delta, American. Any one of those major airlines will come into Medford, but you'll have to connect through one of those cities that you see there on the map. We're just 10 minutes from the California border, right on the I-5 freeway, so it's easy to access all of those major cities along the west coast of the United States if you do have access to a car. A lot of people think about Oregon, they think about rain and clouds and cold weather. We are far enough south that we don't have your typical Oregon weather. Our summers, we spend most of the summer actually above 80 degrees. 83 is the average if you look at all the summer months. And in the winter, we still get up into the low 50s, high 40s. So if you're walking around outside, a medium level jacket, even a sweatshirt if you're being active outside is going to be plenty, with lots of sunny days as well. We average less rain per year than the national average, and about half the amount of rain as Portland and the Willamette Valley, so not nearly as wet as other places in Oregon. We do get snowstorms maybe 2 or 3 times a year. They'll usually just, it'll melt off the same day, maybe stick around 1 day. But as you can see in that picture there on the left, we're right at the base of a really tall mountain, so we are only about 25 minutes from a ski resort. So if you want to go play in the snow, go skiing or snowboarding, it's really close by, but you don't have to worry about living in it every day or shoveling driveways or things like that. So these are our majors. Didn't have enough room to get our minors and our certificates and our master's degree programs on here. Like most universities, our biggest majors are business, psychology, and communications. Some of our unique or neat majors are outdoor adventure leadership, digital cinema, which is our film program. Ashland was named the #1 town in the country for documentary filmmakers a couple years ago. So we have a pretty vibrant film industry locally and a great facility for film students. We also just added a minor in esports management. There's a lot of business opportunities in the young esports business, and I think we're the second school in the country to offer a program in esports management. And then we also just started a certificate in trans studies, and I believe we're the only university in the country with a certificate in trans studies. We do offer WUI as well. Like University of Alaska Fairbanks, our WUI is automatic for all students. There are no GPA minimums. There are no major restrictions. If you're from Hawaii and you're admitted, you automatically receive the WUI tuition rate. And as you can see there, our tuition is a little over $15,000 a year for a full-time WUI student, and that is a savings of close to $13,000 a year versus our out-of-state non-resident rate. All right, so our application, we have rolling admissions. You can apply year-round, but I really recommend people try to do it by the end of the year, early January, because we do have a scholarship deadline of February 15th, and you have to be admitted in order to apply for those scholarships. We are test optional, so all we need is your GPA, and we can even make admission decisions based on your GPA that you submit on the application. But we do require your official documents later, so we hope those GPAs match up. On the bottom there, you can see a link to our virtual tour. We have a great virtual tour of campus. You can also schedule virtual presentations with any one of the admissions counselors, Zoom presentation. My email and Instagram are there on the left, and I hope to hear from you if you have any questions at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just a reminder to keep sending in your Q&A questions, and next we'll be hearing from Cornish College of the Arts.
Aloha, everybody. I am so glad to be here with you today. My name is Sharon Starling. I'm the Director of Admission at Cornish College of the Arts. We're located in Seattle, Washington, and I am your primary recruiter for the state of Hawaii. I'd like to start with our mission. The mission of Cornish College of the Arts is to provide students aspiring to become practicing artists with an education of the highest possible quality in an environment that nurtures creativity and intellectual curiosity while preparing them to contribute to society as artists, citizens, and innovators. We do this by offering baccalaureate degrees in both the visual and the performing arts. We're one of only 3 colleges that focus very specifically on visual and performing arts. We offer degrees called the Bachelor of Fine Arts, the Bachelor of Music, and some new BA degrees. In yellow highlight are some actually new BFA pathways. These are areas we've taught for many, many years, but are now offering them as accredited BFA degrees. The BFA is a very concentrated degree. It is a deep dive into the major right from day one. And so you are making art, music, dance, theater from the very beginning. And our new BA pathways are designed for transfer students. So if you have the associate's degree, these are ways that you can finish in 2 years with just a little bit less in the studio, but still a really great opportunity. Cornish is over 100 years old, founded in 1914 by a young woman who was named Nellie Cornish. We have always strived to have working faculty teach our students. So professional artists are your teachers. It is an environment that encourages exploration, generation of new work, and it is a collaborative environment. Again, one of the few that combines both the visual and the performing arts. It is our goal. We have a traditional experience, but also the interdisciplinary and the experimental processes that we are known for. Our goal is to build critical thinking skills, creative problem solving, collaboration, and generate new work. Our goal is to build a sustainable future in the arts for our students. We do this by having faculty who are working artists. We bring in visiting artists to teach master classes. Our classes are small. We have just under 600 students. Most classes are 7 to 1. Seattle is an amazing city. We are located in the South Lake Union neighborhood. So much art, so much music, so much dance, so much theater, things for you to go and see, as well as an audience that is excited for the new work that you are generating. So many collaborations, internships, research opportunities, performance, and experiences we can offer to students with our colleagues at the other organizations. South Lake Union, we have a core campus of 12 buildings, all within walking distance of those major artistic organizations. You won't see a slide of the football stadium or the Greek row. What you will see are the studios. All the visual art students have access to their own individual studio space right from day one. Performers are able to reserve, and especially now with COVID, are able to reserve spaces and have individual rehearsals when the studios are closed. New 20-story residence hall building that we opened in 2015 features practice rooms, movement studios, workout space, 20th floor lounge area, and art making space. Quick overview of the application requirements. We are new to the Common App this year. So if you're pursuing a Common App, we'd love to have you add Cornish to that. High school transcript, college transcripts if applicable, personal statement, letter of recommendation. We are and have always been test optional. And then part 2 for us requires an audition or a portfolio review. These are virtual and online for the 2021 cycle. Quick dates, early action is December 1. It's a non-binding decision and it will get you a decision by mid-December. Priority deadline for both scholarship and admission is February 15th. And you probably already heard this, the FAFSAs are open. You can apply that anytime after October 1. And just really quickly, there's been some, talk about tuition. Cornish did something really powerful in 2019 and lowered the tuition 20%. And from the leadership at the very top of the institution and the board of trustees, this was designed to create more access and to lower long-term student debt. 95% of our students are awarded some type of merit scholarship based upon their audition or their portfolio, and it's guaranteed for 4 years. Please use Cornish as a resource. We're one of the very few schools that are out there that do our work the way we do it. And if I can be of assistance, I look forward to some questions in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just a reminder to send in your Q&A questions, and now we'll be hearing from Pacific University, Oregon. You're muted.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Now we can.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so my name is Donna Ramos Barsana. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions for Pacific University, Oregon, and we're centrally located in Forest Grove, Oregon. We are 35 minutes from downtown Portland and an hour away from the coast, and we're 15 minutes from what we call our Silicon Forest. So it's where the Nike World Headquarters is, Intel, Columbia Sportswear, and all those kind of things. So with our academic recognition, we're considered top 25 colleges with the best professors, America's best colleges, and the top research university in the Pacific Northwest. Looking at some of our information, so we have just underneath 4,000 students, about 65 undergraduate programs, 31 graduate programs. Our faculty student ratio is 10:1, and we have an average class size of 19 students in 70 plus different clubs and 26 study abroad programs. This is some of the majors that you can be a part of. So take a look at that. We have a really cool class called Essentials of Human Knowledge, where you get a chance to hear from all the professors from every academic discipline, and you get a chance to hear what all the majors are about and what you could do with them. Speaking with the Pacific difference, so we have some programs that are extremely popular, from optometry, kinesiology, business, physician-assisted studies, and environmental science. We have about 100% of our classes are taught by faculty, and we are a 4-1-4 semester system. So 4 months of fall, 1 month of January, and the entire spring semester. So the entire month of January, you can do 3 things. You can either stay at home for an extended holiday break, come to campus and take a class. It's already included in your tuition, or you can travel. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. We have a 4-year graduation guarantee as well. So as long as you declare your major by the end of your sophomore year, you're guaranteed to get out in 4 years. If you take longer than that, we actually pay for your tuition. And 93% of our graduates have a career, internship, or grad program within the year of graduating. All of our students are required to do research at our school, and every student has to do a thesis project. You're required to do internships, hands-on, or working from the comfort of your computer. The most popular site will be the Nike World Headquarters, as you can imagine, being 15 minutes from our campus. Students are required to have a worldly experience, so they can either study abroad for a semester or year-long, where the tuition is completely transferable and credits, or they can travel for 1 month. So it's a really quick snapshot in the month of January to be abroad to all kind of different places. We have 24 varsity and junior varsity sports. We're Division III. All of our sports teams are sponsored by Nike from head to toe, and you see that same benefits where all of your fees and everything are completely covered when you're traveling. We require civic engagement for all of our students, regardless of their major, 10 plus performing arts programs, and over 70 plus different clubs. Pacific Northwest is something that's really popular in terms of the outdoors. So we have weekend trip, break trips, student voyages, and outdoor leadership minor. So we bring in about 100 students from Hawaii every single year out of a freshman class, about 475. So a huge population comes from the state of Hawaii. With that, we have 6 full-time directors that help you through this process. Myself and Uncle Jeff are working with you through the admissions process. Auntie Jana Lei-chan and Auntie Hope are the Hawaii Club advisors, and Jerry Yoshida and Gary Picaro are board of trustees to make sure you're landing a job after you graduate. So if you decide to join the Hawaii Club, you can do so. It's called Naha Mana o Hawaii. We have a lot of students, over 400 students in our club, and all kind of activities that you can be a part of on every weekend, every break. So we take students out so you don't need a car. If you decide to be a part of our Hawaii Club, we have the biggest student-run luau in the continental US. So over 3,000 people come to our performance. It's all done by students from the music, the dancing, choreography, costumes, everything. And fun fact about Pacific University, Oregon, is we have rice at every meal, plate lunches made every single day, poke bowls, and spam musubi, because we know the way to your heart is through your stomach. If you guys are interested in applying, here's an application fee waiver, so you will not need to pay to apply. So you can follow those instructions. We require your Common App, your essay, letters of recommendation, high school transcript, and we are test optional. My preferred deadline is November 1st, our early action deadline, so be sure to get your application to me as soon as possible. 99% of our students have an academic scholarship, so it's either merit-based, where you have between $15,000 to $27,000 per year, and it ranges between, depending on your transcript, your Common App, your essay, in your letter of recommendation. We have talent-based scholarships in band, dance, choir, theater, all those kind of different things. So they range between $500 to $6,000 per year. So be sure you're doing that as well. And we accept all outside scholarships. So continue to apply to scholarships all throughout your 4 years because we accept all of them. We also have different virtual events that you can participate on. pacificu.edu/admissions events. You guys can take a look at that. What we have is our senior preview day scholarship days. So it's every single Friday and a few Saturdays all the way to the ending of January. You can attend one of these. You just attend for 2 hours virtually and you get a guaranteed seniors $4,000 scholarship just for attending, listening to professors and students and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be sending some information too since you attended this session. Bottom line is I want to be here to support you through this entire process. Through the application process, you need to get in touch with a faculty member or staff member or a coach. Please let me know how I can help you. Here's my contact information, my email, and my phone number. Feel free to get in touch with me. But thank you so much for being here. Aloha.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities.
All right, good evening, afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Tanner. I am the National Recruitment Coordinator with the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. So we're the land-grant flagship institution in Minnesota, middle of the country, right up by Canada. We're in southern Minnesota, so not quite Canada, but we're getting there. We're right in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so just a mile outside the downtown. So you're not looking up at the skyscrapers of Minneapolis, but you're always looking at them. So a really unique environment for a big school. It's a good fit for students who are looking for that classic big college experience. We've got 20 Division I sports teams, 900 student groups, 150 majors. We're tier 1 for research. And then we are right in the heart of the cities too. So this is a main part of our campus. If you catch this train 10 minutes this way, that's the downtown of Minneapolis. 20 minutes the other way is the downtown of St. Paul, which is Minnesota's capital. So it's kind of a nice quintessential college town feel, but in an urban environment. So we do offer breadth and depth academically, 150 majors, over 130 minors. And as well many graduate professional programs. So if you're interested in pursuing law school, medical school, OT, PT, veterinary programs, we have all of those on our campus. We can start giving you pre-professional advising right away your freshman year. We are a land-grant institution and tier 1 research. So 90% of the research happening in the state of Minnesota happens right through our campus. So if you're interested in getting involved in research, whether that's pairing up with a faculty member doing existing research, or submitting your own research proposal, we do have a program to give undergraduate students funding to do the research themselves. And it is accessible. I was just working with a student from San Diego who's in engineering department. He started doing research his second semester on campus. So if that's something you're interested in, we can be a really good fit for you there. Despite our large size, we try to keep those class sizes small. So 80% of all classes are 50 students or less, 65% of all classes are 30 students or less. So your major classes are gonna be more along those 20 to 30 student lines. Big classes, those are generals, just to make sure every student can get into them, get through them, and then get into their major more quickly. So they're always going to be paired with a discussion or lab. So separate time of the week when you meet with only about 25 to 30 other students, not to go over anything new, just review the information covered in lecture. So you just have the chance to ask questions in a smaller classroom setting. We admit into one of our 8 freshmen admitting colleges right off the bat. We do this for a couple of reasons. The first is we want to make sure that you have access to the program that you want. So if you come in and you know you want a certain business or engineering department or nursing program, that way you can start in those major classes right away your freshman year. Make sure that is the right fit for you. And if it's not, we'll help you transfer around. That's okay. But if it is, you don't have to wait too long or take too many classes, just generals your first year. You can really dive into that subject matter you're most interested in. We also do it because we know we're a large institution. So we want to make sure you're coming into a smaller community of scholars that share some sort of academic interest as you. So each college has developed their own first year experience program to help students transition, help them explore career opportunities, and get to know their classmates and faculty members within that college too. So some of the popular majors I see coming from Hawaii are going to be neuroscience and genetics, our direct entry nursing, biomedical engineering, aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, data science. We do have a phenomenal business school and sport management, as well as some fine arts and performing arts here. But we have 150 majors, so if I didn't name what you or what you're interested in, just check out our majors page. We probably have it. We might even have some majors you've never heard of before. I didn't know a major existed before I started on campus. Like a good big school, we have tons of opportunities for you all to get involved. So 900 student groups, 200 student cultural centers, and there's 12 student cultural centers within the student union for students to connect personally, professionally, and academically. There's a little something for everything, whether you want to get involved with your identity-based group or major-based organization, pre-professional or religious-based group, go Greek and join a sorority fraternity, have an intramural sport, or maybe just be a super fan for our Division I sports. The more you get involved, the smaller the campus starts to feel, and there's really a number of great communities for our students to get involved with. We have a massive study abroad program, over 200 different program types through 60 different countries. So actually our business school requires that students study abroad. So if you are interested, we can make you work with any degree and almost anywhere in the world that you're thinking of going. Now, our campus community and the neighborhoods that surround us really make us stand out against our peers as you start looking at some other big institutions, because the neighborhoods that surround us are very student driven. So Dinkytown and Stadium Village are what it's going to give you that college town feel. It's where the coffee shops are open late for cram sessions. It's where there's pizza by the slice all the time. It's where the homecoming parade goes through. So those are the neighborhoods directly across the street from our campus, but we are maintaining that urban environment. So Minneapolis-St. Paul is a big city, but it's fairly digestible. We're not going to feel like a concrete jungle. So students can really get to know that community and get involved there. There's 6 professional sports teams all right on that train line. There's concert venues and museums right on and around our campus. So a lot going on throughout all 4 seasons. So of course with Minnesota does come the full 4 seasons in strong force. So it is going to get snowy and it is going to get cold, but I promise we're used to it. If you want to go through your first Minnesota winter with other folks, we do have a living learning community that'll teach you what hot dish is, take you ice skating, go ice fishing, do some of those quintessential Midwest things. But really our students are really well equipped for it. Our campuses too. Our bus stops are heated, our bridges are heated. In fact, about 90% of our campus is actually connected by underground tunnels. So when it gets really cold, students can navigate most of their campus or go grab breakfast without even having to go outside sometimes. Now, of course, value is a huge part of making your decision. So we work to be a great value institution. A big part of that is a retention rate. So 93% of our first year students come back their second year, which means we're a good fit for them academically, financially, and personally. So yes, my Southern California or my Hawaii students, they come and they enjoy it. You do have to embrace the full 4 seasons, but a lot really like that. You can see our tuition and fees are listed here. We do want to point out that we're going to automatically consider you for academic merit-based scholarships if you choose to apply to Minnesota. So those range from $2,500, they go up to $15,000. That's each year for all 4 years. And that $15,000 essentially knocks it down to what our in-state students pay. So if you are interested in applying, we try to keep it fairly straightforward. We don't require letters of recommendation and we don't require essays. Just submit the application itself, either through the Common or our own Golden Gopher application. $55 application fee, and then you self-report your grades and courses. So don't send us your transcripts, just let us know how you did, and then you're automatically considered for admission, for honors, and for scholarships. So we have 3 deadlines this year. If you're interested in nursing, pay attention to the first one. Otherwise, there's no difference in the 3 that you apply for, except when you'll hear back from us. So here's my contact information. I'm based in Southern California to work with students from the Western US, so feel free to reach out to me if you do have any questions. I'd love to chat more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just a reminder to keep sending in your Q&A questions, and now we'll be hearing from Marymount, California University.
Alrighty, last but not least. Aloha everyone, my name is Jarvis. I'm the admissions rep for Marymount, California University. But before I start, I do want to let you guys know that I am just like you. I'm a local boy, grew up in Ewa Beach, Hawaii. I've been living in LA for a year. So if you have any questions about MCU or just questions about college in general or Southern California, just shoot me a text or even a comment or Q&A. All right. So just the basics, we are a private university located in Southern California in a beautiful suburb called Rancho Palos Verdes. We are in LA County, but we're 30 miles south of LA. We're a liberal arts institution and we're Catholic affiliated, but we accept students of all different faiths and religious backgrounds. So this is just an aerial view of our campus. We have a view of the Catalina Islands. To your left, if this picture were to pan out, we're right next to the LA Harbor. And to the right, you'd see the beach cities of Torrance, Redondo Beach, Hermosa, and Manhattan. Oh, and one thing about Palos Verdes, it's a really safe, well-to-do neighborhood. It's super fancy, it's very safe. A lot of celebrities, lawyers, doctors. It's just a well-to-do neighborhood, so it's super safe, very fancy. All right, so just a little bit about our demographics. We're 54% females, 46% male. Ladies, pat yourselves on the back, you guys are awesome. And if you look to our right, you'll see that our most popular major is business, followed by psychology, and then we have criminal justice and biology. MDS and DMC is our multidisciplinary studies and our digital medias communications majors. So we're a very small school with just under 600 students. We have a student to teacher ratio of 17:1. 97% of our students are full-time and we have 0 teaching assistants. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how small we are. All right, so here's some of our majors. Accounting, business, marketing is no longer a concentration. It's actually its own standalone major. Business is our most popular one, but we also have biology, criminal justice. Multidisciplinary studies are for students who just, they wanna pick 2 concentrations. So there is flexibility here, and that's one of the bonuses of being such a small university. You have more one-on-one relationships with your learning, with your professors. We have academic advising, internships, and I'll go over all of that later. So like I said, where small means more institution. I'm from Hawaii, but I went to school in the mainland, but I went back home to Hawaii to get my master's. And I will say I've experienced both the big school and the small school. So there's good and bad things about both. It just depends on what you are looking for. And here at MCU, where small means more school. So I will say when I did go to a bigger institution, it was harder for me to get an appointment with an academic advisor. It's hard for me to get other resources. So now that I work for a smaller institution, I will say there's just good things and bad things about, you know, going to a small school or a bigger school. Like I said, it just depends on what it is you're looking for. All right, so here's some of our support services. We have tutoring, academic advising, disability services, internships. Internships are required, and because we live so close to LA, most of our students for business, they go to, a lot of them work for Tesla, ABC Studios, NBC Studios, Disney World. There's just so much to do here in LA and Hollywood and Southern California. All right, student life. So we have a bunch of clubs and organizations, no Greek life. We are Catholic affiliated. We do have Catholic roots, but most of our clubs and organizations are more academic based or special interest groups. We do have involvement fairs, our student centers while our students hang out. There's ping pong, there's pool tables, there's just so much to do. There's cool events, and we are NAIA Division II. And some cool things we offer are surfing and esports. So I always tell students it's pretty cool that you could just get a college scholarship just to surf or, you know, play video games. So that's pretty cool. Student housing, our student housing, we call it the villas. That's how fancy it is. It's just down the hill. We do offer transportation to and from our villas. It's a gated community because it used to be military barracks, and it's 2 to 3 bedrooms. Everything you need is down there: food, laundry, basketball courts, volleyball, pools, barbecue pits. It's all down there. And I highly encourage you guys to check out our YouTube, do a campus tour of our villas and our campus. Tuition costs, we are private, and a lot of times private schools get the bad rep of being super expensive. And, you know, as someone from Hawaii who did go to school in the mainland, trust me, don't let this number scare you guys. But tuition is around $35, and then on top of that, you have housing and room and board. So that's total is $49. We are private, so our in-state and our out-of-state students pay the same thing. But the good news is 90% of our students are on federal aid, financial aid, which is, you know, comes in the forms of federal grants, state grants, institutional aid. A lot of our Hawaii students, they do utilize these external scholarships, the Hawaii Community Foundation, the Pauahi, the Ho'okama. So these are just scholarships that your high school counselors should be telling you guys about. And we accept all internal and external aid. So just to apply, guys, we are rolling admissions, so we don't have any deadlines, but all you need to do is submit your application, official high school transcript, and a personal statement. Test scores are optional. And we do have a $50 application fee, but if you're super serious about it, just shoot me an email or text or even a Q&A question, and I'll definitely give you that code to waive the fee. All right, mahalo. Take a screenshot of this and contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So we do have a bit of extra time, and I would just like to invite our reps to all come back on for some Q&A. If you have any questions, please submit them. I would just like to ask everyone to please share their favorite of tradition that takes place on their campus. And we can just go in the same order you presented in, and everybody can take about 30 seconds to respond. You can go ahead.
Hey y'all, this is Andrew with the University of Alaska Fairbanks. My favorite tradition is called Starvation Gulch. It's essentially a giant bonfire that happens every fall to welcome students back to campus. Student organizations and different departments build giant wooden infrastructures that are like 20 by 20 feet large, and we set them on fire. And we have like cocoa, grilled cheese, UAF swag, and the fire department keeps us all safe and keeps the fire under control.
My favorite tradition at Southern Oregon University is probably Snow Fiesta, where they actually we'll bring snow down off the mountain in the spring and put it on campus, and they'll build up a snowboarding and ski jump. But I think the students' favorite tradition is the pancake feed, where during finals week, they have free pancakes in the library all night long.
I think at Cornish, my favorite tradition is the annual drag show that's launched a couple of really well-known Jinx Monsoon and Major Scales used to be our hosts and launched their act that they do now internationally. Also a great student who had the persona of Leilani, who was from Hawaii, Victor DeMarco.
My favorite tradition at Pacific University, Oregon is our student-run luau. It's all done by students, so it's nice to see over 400 students coming together. It's the second Saturday in April every single year, and we've been running for over 60 years. It's 3 hours, so it has everything from hip-hop tinikling to siva to slap to fire knife to fire poi, so all kind of different activities. And we have parent coordinators on every island, so parents can get involved throughout every single month. So it's just everyone is a part of that process.
I would say my favorite tradition for the University of Minnesota is our spring jam. So a couple weeks before finals in the spring, when the weather's turning nice again, we have a series of concerts. Every day is a different artist. So anywhere from Battle of the Bands for our student artists, all the way to bringing some big names, historically like Lizzo, among others. And it's just a really nice way for students to enjoy the nice weather, blow off some steam, and then buckle in for those finals.
I'd say for Marymount, California University, one of the cool things we do is the Catalina Islands. We take our students to Catalina Islands, and it's just a fun time. There's food and wine. I mean, I guess I enjoy that part, but yeah, there's so much stuff to do at the Catalina Islands. And that's one of the events most of our students look forward to.
All right, if anyone wants to address any of the Q&A questions live, you can go ahead. Otherwise, I can just leave the Zoom running until the end and give you time to respond in the chat. I'll just say thank you all for joining us. When you go to close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. This was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to check out the full sign up. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings. So if anyone has anything they want to add, I'll turn it over. Otherwise, feel free to keep responding. All right, looks like everyone is done in the Q&A. So goodbye, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.